we are. First of all, I'd like to kick it off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land. Pay respects to elders past, present, and future. This is not a one-man show. I know it looks like it is right now. But, man, big shout out to Open Source, Ricky, Esky for fucking actually turning up every time we do it. And then, my man Molotov, always doing the graphics coming through. And then who else? Split Atoms on the dope beats. Very hectic, very hectic, very hectic. So you guys are probably expecting someone today. We actually had Mitchos, the Menace. Yeah! Welcome, Mitchos. What's that? You're not here, bro? Okay, sweet. Look, unfortunate things happen. It's a fucking, what do you call it? Is it a full moon tonight, Ricky? Is it a full moon? It is a full moon. I'm not really into that fucking spiritual bullshit, but it's a full moon. Maybe that's why fucking Mitchos the Menace is, I don't know, somewhere fucking, I don't know, as a werewolf or some, I don't know, some shit, whatever. So yeah, so these things happen. But what I want you guys to do is to share this fucking podcast tonight around. And this is sometimes the fucked up thing with these situations is that, you know, we got opportunities, we try and organize things, try and keep the culture fucking growing, this, that. And, you know, shit happens. People don't turn up. People forget. I would like to think it's an important piece of the culture. But, yeah, tonight we're just going to be freestyling it. So, here's the deal. I want as many questions as you guys can give me. And I'm going to be answering things very truthfully. All right? So you can ask things like, how dog do you feel by Mitchos the Menace? Menace. And I'll say, very dogged. All right, so thank you very much, Mitch. I'm sure you'll hit me up, but if anyone has his number, hit my inbox and I'll... he can call in, and if he calls in, hey, like I know he's relatively local, so I know I can get him here in about 15, 20 minutes. So Mitch, if you're listening, or if you forgot, or if someone that fucking knows Mitch can give the cunt a call and tell the cunt to fucking come down, I'd be much appreciated. I know you've got kids, my bro, but I've got 4 fucking sitting at home on school holidays that I could be fucking spending my time with. Fuck me dead. Anyways, you can tell I'm maybe a bit frustrated. What was that?
Bryson.
Who?
Bryson accordion.
What about him?
Get him in.
Oh, get him down. But listen, we're going to freestyle a little bit. Ask questions, please, by all means. But you know what? I'm actually just going to kick it a little bit with Esky. What do you reckon? You reckon? Ricky, you down? Fuck, man. Like, you know what? I wanted to do an episode on Esky, but maybe we just make this the fucking freestyle. Hey, actually, this is just a freestyle, unofficial, official. How do you feel, Esky? Are you down?
Now.
Fuck yeah, the boys! Now you're going to get some...
He doesn't have his wig and his moustache.
Oh, that is a wig. Fuck, imagine it was.
Should I do it from here or from there?
Nah, man. People got to see your beautiful face, my G. So, Jeff, I think you're going to have to fucking man the boards over there. So what does Jeff need to do, Esky? Do you need, like, to ask questions?
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow, I've made it.
You're like, yo, so this is what it feels like.
I've made it, you know. I got announced, I'll be speaking at Big Sound.
I fucking saw that. I double-clicked that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And now I'm here in Godzilla podcast. It's
It
just
happened so quick. The press just can't wait to get to you. Speaking of big sound. yo, fuck Muchos the Menace, man. We need fucking Esky up in this bitch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know. Yeah.
Thanks, Open Source. Thanks, Molotov.
You are open
I know,
source as
I know.
well. How do you feel? Yeah, thanks, Molotov. But you know what, man? With all seriousness, I know we're actually literally just fucking talking shit here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, make sure you ask questions if they're questions, all right? Just holler at your boys. But man, you're an intriguing figure to me.
Thank
in
you.
the hip hop scene.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, right? So hip hop for you, what was your first? Actually, fuck that. Take it back. Were you born in the fields?
I was born in Australia,
Right.
Blacktown Hospital. Very,
Blacktown of me.
yeah, very, very Blacktown. It's a very boring history, especially because of my ethnic background. But then, when you sort of grow up, you're like, man, everyone in the fields came from Blacktown anyway. So it's like that's the story of Philippines in Australia, Blacktown.
I remember growing up, there's like, yeah, all the Philos live in Blacktown.
Yeah,
Like, if you want to see your Philo mates, like, you were going somewhere
go
in Blacktown.
Blacktown.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%.
So born here.
Born here, you got family in the fields, though?
I do have a lot of family in the fields.
You go over there often, or?
I do. Shout out to Philippines.
Shout out to the Philippines, 100%.
My family is from a place called Bicol, which is on the main island, but south of the main island. So it's not quite Manila, and we speak a different language. We speak a whole different dialect. So that's where I'm from.
Crazy, bro. In terms of your, the upbringing here, I suppose you sort of already know some of the questions I'm going to be asking because, to be really honest, it's it's got to do with hip hop as well.
Yep.
What was your first? Fuck, man, because I think about it now. I think so far ahead in my questions for you, because obviously I know you personally, and I've gotten to know you, thankfully, so much better over the last couple of years. But what was your first like hip hop experience? And you know how I asked that question. It's just like, what was the first like experience where you saw the art form, or you saw or heard the music, and you were just like, yo, what the hell is that? What is that? That you can remember.
Yeah, when I get asked that question, there was like two moments there. When first I saw it on mainstream video hits, Rage with like Ja Rule and Eminem, like that Nelly, like that was around the time of hip hop, because my parents didn't really listen to rap music; they made me listen to like folk music. But
Did they have a magic mic?
They had a magic mic. We sang a lot of Kenny Rogers, Air Supply, the basic stuff.
Philos with the magic mic.
Yeah, 100. And then, but my first experience with hip hop, which I really cite as like, that's when I wanted to get into the scene and fell in love with the culture, was when I was hanging out with Ricky. He brought me to one of Spice's workshops.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, what?
And it was a graffiti, because Spice is a legendary graffiti writer in Western Sydney, and we went to Edmonton Leisure Centre, and she did one of her first. Oh, not her first. We were just there for a graffiti workshop, and then she introduced me to Death Wish Cast, the Fugees, and just the culture of it. And that's when that sort of started. And then I met 6 Pound at another youth centre. So it was happening around that year of fresh out of high school.
That is the craziest, like, what an introduction
Yeah.
to hip hop. Because, like a lot of us, and this is actually, I mean, to be honest, the way that you are, it doesn't surprise me as well, in terms of like being quite eclectic with your taste and, sound.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you've earned that, But like my opinion's like up there. But a lot of people, obviously the first impression is really just American. So to be immersed into what is quite a broad spectrum of Australian and American simultaneously would have been quite eye-opening, because you would have seen like, oh, it's over there, but we've got our version here.
Yes.
Pretty much straight from the start.
Yeah, straight from the start.
Far out.
Yeah, and a lot of your guests were talking about the writers' culture. So I was never a writer, but hanging
Esky
out
would look
with
hectic on the wall though.
I tried. But hanging out with Ricky would have like exposed me to that hip hop. I'll probably say grassroots, but maybe the word's more street. Like that exposed me to that element, and like, oh, it's a fucking culture. It's more than just a thing that people make on the TV and people watch.
Yeah.
There's like people live and breathe this, and then That's
But
what it was.
that's actually a very important word as well, hey?
Mm.
Because I think that that's one thing that's often neglected, you know, particularly with some of the youth today. They just think it's a thing, like a thing that you do. They don't necessarily take into consideration that it's a culture that you live and breathe. To then also have that experience of like, yeah, cool. So, you know, you're, you know, diverse in, you know, just not only experiencing like our version, their version, but also like knowing, you know, elements and understanding, you know, how they all complement each other and stuff like that. So you met Spice very early then.
Very, very young. Yeah.
So how was that? How was that to see like this strong woman in the scene, just like like
a boss. Like
when a boss.
When you're in a graffiti workshop, and then you've got Spice controlling the behaviors of lad kids, you know, because they want to learn from her, so they shut up. So it was cool witnessing that, and it's like that's the power of a queen, that she just exudes throughout the room. People listen, and that was the element of Spice.
That's crazy, bro. Now, this is probably like a little bit of a side question then, I suppose, for you, but like, do you feel as though, because what did you study? Like, what was your thing in high school? What was your like thing that you liked to do?
Music.
It was music.
It was music. It was music.
Recorder?
Actually, this is how far back Ricky and my friendship go.
Oh, about to say,
Ricky,
how long have you guys known each other?
Ricky got me into harmonica, so we started to do harmonica fucking play. Not recorder, harmonicas.
Can you still play the harmonica?
I played it for my major work. So like at the end of year 12, you have to do a performance piece. I played the harmonica. And then I rapped Lupe Fiasco. That's what I did.
What track?
Superstar. If you are what you say you are. And he was killing it at that time, so.
Lupe's the man.
Yeah, he's the man.
Lupe's the fucking man. All right, so okay, so you did music. So music was your passion.
Yep.
What was then, you know, because us coming up, like, I don't know if it was, you know, but listen, music wasn't the go-to. You know, your parents are always like, study something else. You know, like, do something real.
Yeah.
Music's not real. Do something real.
Yeah. So what was the real thing?
What was the real thing that you had to do? Or that you had chosen? Like, what was the career path that you were like, okay, cool, well, if I'm going to have to fall into something, it's going to be this.
My parents were pretty supportive of me. They just said as long as I worked. So I was working in retail.
For what?
I was working at the reject shop.
I worked at Ronnie's.
Yeah.
All the greats come from Ronnie's reject shop.
Yeah. So
that's actually a good job, though.
It is.
All you got to do
it's
is
not
just
bad.
restock the shelf.
Exactly.
And just people go, where's that? You go, over there.
And they don't expect much from you because it's the reject shop. So it's like...
This guy's a reject. You're a reject. You're a reject. We've got all the rejects. High expectations. Nah. Anyway, sorry. So reject shop.
But they didn't really care what I was career. They just wanted me to work. So I was just working. And at the same time, I was doing music. So I was chasing music. And then I guess it got a bit serious. My parents were like, you better go uni. So then I did. When I met 6 Pound, I saw that element of youth work / social work. Okay. And then that's when I went to uni after doing that. But I was still doing music at the same time.
When you say music, hip hop?
Hip hop.
So, okay, so you were sort of first really... So you exposed to hip hop, you love hip hop, you're rapping, but you cover rapping, but you're writing in high school?
Yeah. I was writing. I was doing... I was writing to... It was mainly like Lupe sort of style raps. That was really my big influence there. So, yeah.
So it was Lupe Styles?
Yeah, Lupe Styles.
Okay, and then, so what was the show situation like for you?
As in, was I performing?
Yeah. Like, was it... Because, you know, for me, it was like... So, like, school discos and stuff.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah?
Assemblies and... But...
It's so good, but... Yeah, okay.
Hip-hop wasn't too foreign. So it was like... People rapped. Like I was probably the only one of the 2 rappers from my high school, so it wasn't that foreign to people. So it wasn't like oh, that's weird. He was like, oh, that's cool. Just
All right.
raps, yeah.
So then what was your first experience outside of school? So who would you've gone out, you've started speaking to Spice, starting to you meet 6 Pound, who by the way is, and I know we said this the other day with Inferno, but legend of a dude. Killer MC.
Killer MC. He got me my first gig.
True.
Yeah, he got me my first gig, first paid gig.
How old did you first get
I would have been 18, 19. It was $50, like cash in hand. Like, hey, perform at this little talent show and we'll pay you. And 6 got me that gig. Yeah, and I remember that. That was, I don't know. You know when you get your first check at your first job?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you still remember that? Do you still remember getting your first pay for performance?
Bro, without doubt.
Me too. And I still
tell
remember
you exactly when it is as well. Mine was Sega World Crush.
Oh, you performed at Sega World?
I was the MC there.
And you got paid. That's your first paid gig.
And I was like, I couldn't believe it. Because I was sort of like, it was like my age bracket. It was like the biggest party. Everyone from all over Sydney was there. It was under 18s. All right? And I think I was 17 or 18 maybe. I think I might have been 18.
Yeah.
But it was still like, yeah, I was like, bro, I would do this for free.
100%.
Yeah.
But getting paid for it.
And I was getting paid for it. I was like, damn.
And who got you the gig?
DJ Hamish.
Okay.
DJ Hamish. He was like, because I would go there and they do these freestyle sessions.
Right.
And I would jump on. But because I was writing raps like you, like I had all these fucking Wu-Tang bars, like hectic, like MC, multis, this, that. Everyone else is just like freestyling and just like talking crap. So half the time they were stuttering, half the time they weren't flowing, half the time, you know what I mean? So then I would jump up and then I just like spit these like 24 bar verses of just like, and the crowd was like, ah. So when they needed a new MC, Hamish just says, hey man, like, do you want to do the job?
It pays to be prepared. Like it's great that you can freestyle, but because you prepared, you outshone the rest of them.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
So you got that job. That was your first job with 6 Pound.
Yeah.
And so how did like shows go and shape themselves for you after that?
Kept doing community gigs. I wasn't really in the club scene, the club route, like maybe majority of MCs were, but I was mainly just doing community gigs. I'd start performing at Refugee Week, Harmony Day, Youth Center, and because of that, my raps were very
PG.
Hey?
PG,
yeah.
Ish.
And there was a bit of a message behind it. There was very overt. It was just very clear. And that sort of dictated my sound, actually, when I think about it now. Yeah.
That's funny, bro, but it's very admirable as well in a big respect way, because I think that gets lost a lot of the time, and like I don't think I hate to make it sound corny, I really do, but I think that's something that's like really neglected, particularly for young guys that are that are doing raps.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can go into this, I suppose, a little bit, but one thing with you that I've really taken a lot from is opportunities, and bro, it's always been really casual with with you and me. Oh, just come down, kick it with the guys at Mount Druitt if you've got time. Yeah. And for me, that opportunity is great, because I'm like, yeah, fuck, I want to speak to the next kid that's sort of like, and if anything, I want to teach. I want to, even if I can impart any knowledge of maybe what not to do more. You know what I mean, or what they can do to help in better their chances of becoming successful. Yeah, for you, that's always been at the core of what you sort of stand for, and you haven't faltered for that. Have you ever felt pressure to? Because actually, funnily enough, like listening to the stuff that you did with Astro High. Yeah. It's a bit more tongue in cheek. Yeah. The lessons maybe aren't there as much. but it's almost like you can hear the humor in it. Like it's not like it's not supposed to be serious, which is funny. How,
Yeah,
like, how,
I'm so glad you brought that up because I wondered if people thought that. When I was working with Astro High, he knew of the kind of raps that I wrote, and the thing is that people who were a fan of me because of the Astro High stuff never heard my other stuff before.
yeah.
So they think that I'm this
yeah.
kind of rapper. Like one of the lines that I was very hesitant on spitting on that EP was, okay, so
Come on, man, say it. Everyone knows you now. Like,
yeah.
Gee, they're not gonna be like, oh, this is shaping his character. Fuck this guy.
I say in one of the lines in the song called "Ride for You," I say, entering you, something something, entering in the ketamine, something something. Anyways, I can't remember I'm butchering my own lyrics.
Bars.
But it's like, I've mentioned drug use and blah, but my history is a drug and alcohol counselor. This is my day-to-day job. And I am doing it. I am doing it tongue in cheek. I am doing it like,
yeah, of course.
And I was doing it to keep up with the rhythm because there's that entering and then the ketamine and it's like it was like that sort of rhyme. So I was a slave to the rhyme in that essence, but it is like I was doing it tongue in cheek, and I hope people understood that it wasn't.
I feel like your actions outside of the studio and the booth and outside of the that particular project, it's quite unique as far as Esky so far, And I think that if anything, I feel like it almost like that humor and that tongue in cheek sort of lends to some of the newer projects that you do now.
Yeah, well, yeah, the last song that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been told that I should start doing songs that speak on my work outside of the mic because I don't think people quite get this sort of the stuff that I'm trying to push, community values and.
They think that you're losing some of that.
Maybe. I've been told.
Can't they appreciate that you're still an artist though?
I'm sure they do. They just went, but I've never heard you talk about.
You'd be like,
activist
yo,
stuff.
I'll make you piss your pants. You don't shut your face. I'll make you piss your pants. Yeah. Better watch yourself. No, okay. Look, I can certainly understand that. Funny thing is when I was up in the studio the other day, and I suppose I'm just bringing it up in context of the conversation. But what was so funny was when I was in the studio with Kim, and I wrote that verse.
Yeah.
What was my instinct was to have a message in the verse, which was inspired by the fact that I was writing the verse for you to be on the track.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because that's the type of stuff I want to do. When I was working with Astro High, there was a lot
Shout
of...
out to Astro High and the beats that guy...
Dude, is crazy. Can you
monster.
please beg him to come out of wherever he is because he's just not...
Where is he?
He's not...
Is he even on...
Not sending any beats anymore.
Call up Astro. Robo Marshy. I don't know Robo Marshy, but he's saying hello to me. All right.
When I was working with Astro High, the goal wasn't to push a certain agenda. We just wanted to make music that you could bop to in the car. And maybe I sold myself out there a bit. Maybe I just admitted that on camera.
No, you didn't. I won't allow you to talk that type of shit about yourself. But anyway, so tell me this, okay?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle trying to keep up a certain persona.
I can only imagine. Now listen, I want to ask you something else. The youth stuff. So you study for that at uni?
Yep.
So were you delayed? Like you sort of said before that I felt like there was a little bit of a gap. Were you delayed in going to uni straight after?
Yeah, I was a mature student at uni. Which is...
You? Mature? Never that. Anyway, so... Alright, so you're a mature student. So how many years out of school did you start?
Out of high school, I went to TAFE and did audio engineering course at TAFE for about 3 years. Then after that, I went into uni. Not that big of a gap, but a gap.
It is these days.
Yeah.
Everyone just sort of rolls over into you. You may have a gap year or two, and then go straight into you. But what? I mean, other than like Six Pound and Charles and that, what really drove you to want to talk to kids? Like inspire them to be good?
To be honest, it was because I saw what Six was doing,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, he still gets to do music, but works in music, just shows young people what to do. And what drove me to social work or youth work was, at least I still get to do music.
Right. So it always still had that core
Yeah,
of like
that
music element.
core of music element. And then when I started learning about the importance of community, and I just kept going and going, and then that became my core driver, 100%.
Man, and you know, it's such an important element. I think that, you know, a lot of people neglect. Sometimes it's, especially if you come up, you know, I have to say, look, I didn't have the happiest upbringing, you know what I mean? But I can't fault my parents, you know, being older now and understanding, obviously, you know, and being a parent myself, you sort of start to understand, well, look, nobody really knows what they're doing. Like, you know, you get kids and you just do your best, you know?
Yeah.
And at least if you try and keep core, at least if you keep core values and, you know, just make sure that they're, you know, nice to people and they're, you know, loving and respectful, you know, you're sort of doing a good job. But sometimes when you're in that bubble and, you know, irrespective, like I'd go to my friends' houses and maybe be split homes, or maybe they wouldn't even be living with their parents. They'd be living with, you know, another relative or, and you'd see all these different cultures and different scenarios. But I was still relatively, I think, like, I don't know, maybe sheltered from some realities. Or maybe not, you know, you're a kid. You're not going like, oh, you're not walking into someone's house and being like, let me suss out the family dynamic here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what could be severely disadvantaging like your friend? And bro, to be really fucking honest, there's people that I went to school with that even to this day, I can see how they're still, like, I see why they're where they're at because of
their upbringing.
Of their upbringing.
Yeah.
And it's sad and it's unfortunate. And there's only so much you can tell them now, but they're already written themselves off.
Yeah.
They've already succumbed to like, no, this is my reality. I will live it now.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to stay there. And like, you know, I've been blessed with, for whatever reason, even with my struggles and with my challenges, I've been blessed with perspective, right? Which has been able to shape me. But with the youth, you're at a pivotal fucking time with them where you could be, you're not a parent, you're not a guardian, you're not a person of authority. You're someone of mutual respect. You know what I mean? And it's your words hold so much more weight, similar to how you were describing Spice.
Yeah.
In that scenario where these lads were like, well, fuck, we got to listen because we want to know what she knows. We want to learn what she's teaching, you know? And so as such, they could be going home being like a rap bag, like, fuck you, mum, fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Very much so, yeah.
100%. And then they'll walk into Spice, who might be the same age, who might be, you know, the same skin color, who might be, you know, have actually very similar situations as the mother, but for whatever reason, you know, she's just got that craft under her belt. And then all of a sudden it's like, bang, they're listening to her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you started to understand the importance of community, I suppose, how did that then sort of guide, because you've progressed in this profession, you know? So where did you sort of start from? Because you're going in, I can do music and teach the kids, and now you're, you know, a respected figure, somebody that if I talk to anybody in those circles of youth work and stuff like that, and I mentioned where you work, you know, Mount Druitt Street University, I mentioned who you are, people know who you are. So, you know, how did that start to, I suppose, drive, you know, how you started to view your professional life when you started to see the weight of your words?
Yeah. But two things is, and these are like, I don't know if the word's proverbs or cliches, but it takes a community to raise a child. Like that sort of stuck with me, especially with community work. And you were saying that the parent holds a responsibility. Authority figures hold a responsibility. And when a young person isn't getting the benefits of a parent or the benefits of authority, as being a security figure for the community, they're only seeing the negative sides of authority figures, and they see the negative sides of teachers. They are not blessed with having that nurturing element from people that should be raising them. So then that's where community centers and youth workers are supposed to come in. That's why we aim towards those who are in marginalized communities, because we understand that not everyone has or not everyone is lucky with a good household. So we have to, not have to, but we try and show them what we can. And one thing that I try and teach parents, because I do work with some parents and even with youth workers, is it's not about giving your child what you didn't have. It's about showing your child what you didn't know. Yes. Because when you, as a parent, you grow up in an impoverished community, and suddenly you start making money as a 9-to-5 job, and you're like, you know what? If I would have been raised better if I just gave my kids this. So then you start giving your kids this.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, it just doesn't click. It just doesn't click for them. And then as a parent, you feel like you've lost, and you've haven't given them the nurture that they should have had, and then you start being hard on yourself. Then you start taking parenting to its nth degree, where it's really not what it should be, and then just like the household just collapses, and it's basing again, you're just basing this love on material things. And I'm not downplaying material, because that helps us fund our food and blah blah blah. Yeah. I'm just saying the values need to be shifted again. Is that parents should be showing them good core values and let them grow up, instead of giving them those materials too. Does that make sense?
Bro, fucking 100%, man. Talking to my soul. Shit.
That's a struggle with parents. And it's a struggle with parents who've come from a low socioeconomic area, because we want to give them so much.
But you're right, and it's like, there's one thing that you and I have had this discussion, but currency is time.
Yes.
And that's the only thing that you spend that you don't get back. Money, physical money, material things, they'll come, they'll go. You'll have peaks, you'll have troughs, like, you're up and down. But two things. The first thing you said was, like, ultimately you need to teach them what you didn't know. So what you've learned, and that requires the currency of time. You need to spend the time with your child to then help them acknowledge or give them perspective. If you to fix a hole with, like, oh cool, you're overcome with emotion. So I'm talking as a parent to a child. You're overcome with emotion, so I'm going to buy you something that's going to make you happy momentarily. But you're actually not fixing the issue. Yeah. You're band-aiding it.
You're band-aiding it.
You know what I mean? Rather than say, cool, why are you upset? Okay, cool. So this is why you're upset. Now let's break down the situation, give you some perspective on it. Yeah. So then you can learn and grow from it. So, bro, 100%, like... 100%. Right, agree with exactly. So that importance, once you've found that importance, that help drive your passion, I suppose, for remaining in the scene and remaining in that, profession and driving that as high as you can. Yeah. Yeah. And I felt like when, in community work and youth work, I was able to spend time with young people, like free of judgment. Like they wouldn't judge me. I'm not judging them when they come into the space. I'm not saying, hey, don't do drugs. Hey, don't do that. I'm asking, hey, come through and let's do something together. Like, let's make some music. Yep. Let's join this dance workshop, and they feel
free to be themselves, and when they're free to be themselves, they are honest with their thoughts and their words, and I can start unpacking those things, and it just becomes this this really, really cool, free, non-judgmental space.
Safe. It's the biggest
Very
word,
safe.
hey.
Mm.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I think that sometimes that's the most important thing is someone feels safe actually. You know, when people have an insecurity or something they don't feel as though they'll express because of judgment, you know, or attack, because ultimately when they express these things, they're putting themselves in a stage of vulnerability. And so when they're vulnerable, they're like, you know, obviously like, fuck, if I leave myself vulnerable in this space and I am judged and I am downplayed or I'm cast judgment on, then I'm not safe. My feelings are not safe. My heart's not safe. You know what I mean? Like, whereas if you present them with the opportunity to be like, yo, whatever, man, whatever needs to come out here, I don't give a shit. You know, a lot of people here can actually probably resonate with what you say. It's massive, man, massive importance. And, you know, I think that it really cultivates, I think, art. You know what I mean? As well.
Yes, 100%. 100%. The amount of stuff that comes out in a young kid's lyrics. Like, I had one counselor who said to me, man, I can't get through to this guy. This guy's not talking to me. And then he goes, oh, but Esky, he's a fan of rap music. Do you want to get him into the studio? Just like, all right, cool. All right. And I asked him, well, do you rap? He goes, yeah, I've got something that I wanna spit in the booth. I said, okay, cool. So I just got some YouTube type beat, and he just rapped over it. And then he started talking about his family, how he gets bullied by his older brother. That's why he never wants to go home. And, you know, just feelings of like, you know, his self-worth is all coming out in these lyrics.
How old is this kid?
He's probably about like 14, 15.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
And he would not and then outside of the booth, he would not talk. He would just be like, no, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm like, okay.
You're like...
Yeah. And that's the power of music. And you know, this is the discussion that we're having on Big Sound with Elle, Fresh, Nadine, and Barker. Is music plays such an important role in the community. We often see music as a thing that is made, packaged, sold on Spotify, consumed, and then forgotten.
Yeah, it's a commodity.
We've
had these...
Where music is more than just a commodity, because it is, but it's also community. It has the ability to heal. It has the ability to bring people together, which is why it's so important that we run events. It has the ability to build empathy. And through empathy, you've got understanding. Then through understanding, you just have harmony. So those are the values of music that we shouldn't forget. I'm not saying that it's lost. I'm just saying that we shouldn't forget about it when
I think
we're
they don't take
pushing
front.
it.
Sometimes
It doesn't take front.
They don't take front priority.
Yeah. It's like it should be a two thing, you know, commodity and community the same. Because we don't want to...
Commodity and community.
Commodity, community.
Commodity, community.
Community.
Community. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to win with that one at all.
Yeah.
Bro, 110%. Speaking of which, how'd you get linked on the Big Sound?
Elle Fresh.
Elle Fresh asked you to come?
Elle Fresh.
The man,
the
myth, the legend?
Yes, the man, the myth, the legend. He just saw the work, not only the stuff that I was doing at Street Uni, but I think what really sold it for him was the stuff that we do here at Open Source. When he came down to the warehouse, he was like, we need that sort of element. Because the panel discussion is about what are some alternative ways that we can, as artists, thrive with music other than the major labels and things like that.
Yep.
And the discussion was supposed to be like let's reimagine and let's build hypotheticals. And I think in his mind it clicked that, open source is already doing that.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
So that's why he needed that.
Shout out to Ricky as well.
Shout out to Ricky.
Ricky, you're the man.
Ricky needs to be on more panels, for sure.
Yeah, bro. Fuck, if he wasn't
He be swearing.
if he wasn't on the switcher, like we'd be getting him up on the. Fuck, maybe we should get Ricky up as well. Hectic. I'm gonna ask something because no one really asks you.
Okay.
You know what it's about, probably. You know what it's about?
No, I can't. I think I do, but I'm not sure.
No. It's just about 1-4. Don't worry about it. But
Every time I'm on a panel. Yeah.
no.
What about
no,
1-4? No. I
you
like.
know that.
I know.
You know that I'm not gonna. Fuck, I don't ask like questions like fucking.
No, I don't mind.
Joe
I don't
Blow.
mind. It's.
No, but
And I bring it up too. You know, just like it's like, hey, by the way, I
By the
know
way,
1-4.
you know 1-4. Yeah, that me. No, like 1-4 is intriguing in that same conversation that we're just having,
Yeah.
I suppose, because everyone now sees a commodity,
Mm.
you know, but essentially they started at the street uni, so they started in community,
Mm.
you know, and essentially they do still speak for community, and I think that that's something that has increased their commodity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But in terms of that, because, you know, you introduced me to... Fuck, who'd you introduce
Lex.
me to? It was Lex?
It was Lex.
And it was just Lex there, that day?
It would have been just Lex, yeah. Him, maybe Spenny, but pretty sure you're talking to Lex because he was like the...
Spenny Baba?
Spenny my bar. It's probably Spenny my bar, but it's definitely Lex.
I think I saw Spenny downstairs. Anyway, I think it was Lex actually, because it was so long ago now.
Yeah.
You know, but in terms of that same, I suppose, you know, welcoming with open arms as you always do. How was that for those boys in the early days? Because they
Meeting you?
no, they're meeting you.
Ah.
Like, how did that start? Because for me, by the time, honestly, that I had, you know, met them, and briefly, once or twice, max,
Yeah.
they already had such a, bro, it was so, like, just what we're doing. Like, already knew,
Already knew.
like, had already gotten 25,000 plays
Yeah.
or something on their own accord.
Yeah.
I just remember the filming and the execution of the, you know, the visuals was it's all on point.
Mm.
It really was. And, you know, and here's
Shout out to Maxed Out Films, who's like just around the corner.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
There he is. The visuals.
yeah, 100%. But like, you know, you would have seen the potential as well. Obviously, being an MC of, you know, of your caliber as well. And I say of your caliber because, you know, you don't play on the mic. So you would have seen these guys, and I do remember you saying, "Bro, like Lee, you got to hear these guys because they're on their own thing and they're in their own lane." And so prior to that, because by that stage, yeah, you know, they were, I suppose, a little bit hood famous.
Yeah.
They were relatively established. They had their, and because, man, I remember speaking to Lex and just like talking, and I'd be like, "So what's your plan? What's this?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going to do this single, then we're going to do this single." And I'd ask him questions like, "Oh, you know, you're going to do an EP. Is it easy to get stuff together?" "Oh, no. Like, it's just hard with the boys to get them all together. So I just try to maximize when I can. We just record it down here, this, that." Like, he was just very straightforward with his answers. Like,
Yeah.
He sort of knew, you know. So how did that kick off? How did the boys get in? Like, what were they doing maybe prior to that?
Well, with Lex, I've known him for about 10 years now. So he's been there for a while at Street Uni. And Randy plays a big role in I think, in shaping Lex's business ethic.
Right.
So, because when Randy was working in Mount Druitt, he was working a lot with Lex at the time. And when you spoke to Lex, he's always been like that, very business-minded, very like, I know what to do. I remember,
or at least I know what I want to do.
I want to do. I remember telling him that, "Oh, Lex, you need to do an EP. That's what rappers do now. You make a mixtape, a record label's gonna see it, then blah." You know, I was pushing this agenda, and then he started making numbers off just the YouTube singles, you know, YouTube music videos, focusing on them. And when he was doing that, I was like, you know what? Actually, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, if you know if that's working for you,
Like
then
you obviously know something I don't know.
yeah.
Mm.
And I was, I was cool enough to admit it. Like, Lex, you're on your own, because he kept looking to me like, yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I kept going, look, you actually know more about the way music is going than I do. So I was just there to support them, just to provide them with the space and and
they
give
would
them that.
just book in and
They're just booking. Oh, they booked in like crazy. They were like there every day,
Really?
and asking for, oh, Esky, can you just stay back a bit? Stay back a bit. Yeah.
that's crazy. It's funny because some of those guys have, I think, a real insight just based on how they've grown up. Same with Double L. That I'm working with Double L. And there's elements to what we're doing, me being his manager, that I'm like, nah, dude, that's you.
You already. Yeah.
You know how to speak to your audience. You already know how to get responses out of your. Even bro, and he's got it to an art. Like Double L, bro, is like, I know what I need to wear in a post. I know what they want to see. I know when they want to see it. I know when I get this traction. I know when I get this traction. We'll post something and it might not be as successful as the other one, and he'll know why. Like that. I'm like, I get 100 likes. I'm like, hell yeah. Right? He's just like, oh yeah, look, that wasn't too bad. I'm got about 400 or 500 likes, And I'm like, 400 or 500 likes, man. That's my dream. But there is an element where you got to sort of like let them really do their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who has been? Everyone loves a good underdog story as well, bro. This has actually always been a little question that I've wanted to ask you because look, bit of a team with the 1-4 stuff. So there's a couple of contributors to it. But is there anyone specifically that's come through those doors? Because I know there's been a lot of great artists that have come through there. But is there any real underdogs who have come through and you love the person and you love what they do, but they might not be the person that necessarily people are looking at, but they've sort of come out and made like a name for themselves, and like when maybe people have written them off or... Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was there anyone specifically that has gone through those doors that you're like, fuck, man, I hope they win? And then they start to get some traction. You're like, oh, hell yeah, here they go. They don't necessarily have to be notoriously known either. Like, I'm just asking you.
Okay, yeah. Some of them I feel like just deserve to be, like, 1-4 are great MCs and, man, they kill it. They're killing it right now. But they had a lot to learn at the beginning. And there are some MCs who just had it from the get-go. And it's funny how, like, those ones weren't the ones that cracked it. It was the ones that stayed persistent and consistent, which was like the 1-4. And I don't want to name any names, but I think it really shows persistence, and consistency is key.
What's that saying? Talent, hard work.
Talent, yeah. The talent can only get you so far. It's
work beats talent with talent doesn't work or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
talent
what you're saying.
doesn't put in the hard work, then hard work beats talent.
Yeah. So I see many talented artists
Yeah.
coming through those doors. But when they don't put in the hard work, or it's not even hard work sometimes, it's smart work.
Just work.
It's like knowing where you want to be and just ticking off the boxes.
100%, man. And I have to agree with that. I mean, I think that goes for anyone in life as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, street uni or whatever. It's like consistency always seems to fucking pay off.
Yeah.
Especially these days. If you're just forcing it, like fuck, look at me. Someone's eventually gonna start looking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, a bit of a weird question. It's just fully sidetracking.
Yep.
So, it was a good time back in the day when LOC was on the MIC. With
Yes.
LEE.
Yes.
That's when I first started to learn of you.
Well, LOC, you know, there's Spy, 6 Pound, and LO.
What do you mean?
The three ones that got me into hip hop.
Yo, what?
Yeah, LO got me into rapping. You must know this. He's the one that got me
Ricky,
into
you know
rapping.
this?
I would.
Did you know this? Oh, you're hearing it on a delay.
All good. I'd go to LOC's house to record raps with his younger brother, Nicholas.
Nick used to rap.
I used to sing.
Nick sings?
Yeah, he sings. Ask him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Okay. So you were doing Lupe Fiasco tracks with Nick.
Yeah.
And LO was recording you.
Yes. Yeah.
In Erskine Park.
Yeah.
In the
And
lounge
there are
room.
tracks still out there which I don't want to ever. Ricky's laughing because he knows that if those tracks ever come out, I'll never be able to run for Prime Minister ever again. I wouldn't be able to run for the US.
Can you show me?
No.
Really?
No.
That bad?
But I know where to get them.
If these tracks come out, it'd be the end. I'd probably move countries.
Back to the motherland. Are you for real?
Yeah,
Would they make me piss my pants?
it would. I think Molotov said it'd get me #cancelled. I was young and dumb, and I was saying things.
Cancel, bro. Get cancelled.
You had a whole track on ketamine, didn't you?
I was 8. Yeah, nah.
Wait, hang on a minute. So tell me this. Was Nick singing some crazy shit too?
Nah. He'd usually do like the nice little hooks, and then
Baby.
yeah, it was nothing racist or sexist or anything.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. It was very like that.
Players.
Yeah,
Players Club.
very Players Club.
You were part of the Players Club.
Bro, I was like 17, 16. I didn't know what I was talking about at the time. I had no idea.
Yo, Ricky, you need to hook me up.
No, you don't, bro.
You need to hook me up. Bar stars. But you know what was freaking hectic around those times? Westline ciphers.
Yeah,
Who was doing those?
that was me and Zerish.
Zerish.
Yeah, me and Zerish.
He's the man.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about then? How did you guys start kicking that off?
Well, that was around the time of BET ciphers, and we were like, with BET ciphers is such a faraway thing for us. Let's just make our own ciphers. So we started doing that.
That was hectic, bro. You had such a reach as well with some of the MCs.
Yeah. Zerish has that ability to like pull
people together.
Yeah,
Except
and
when it comes to Soul Benefits doing their only album that everyone was waiting for.
I'm still waiting for that.
Bro, I'm still waiting for that album. Everyone's still waiting for that album. So Zerish is pulling people. Zerish is pulling the MCs together, and then what were you facilitating? Your own bars.
I was, nah, come on. Zerish was like, I don't know if Zerish would ever admit this, but I was there. I was like helping out, like helping bring people together and maybe calling people and making sure they come through.
Oh, so helping. Oh, okay.
It was very much Zerish's thing, but I know like before each cipher, we would have like a quick conversation, like, okay, how's it going to happen?
Plan it out.
How can we improve from the last one? Yeah.
And how was it for you to be on like Poetic? Was it Poetic on one?
Yeah, Poetic was on one.
Who was on there?
SF1.
Oh, Alge, fuck,
He was
he's
on one.
killing it now.
The guy's
Bro, he's got some bullshit, man. Can I just say on the record, if you don't know Alge, ALJ, go look him up. You fucking just follow him on Instagram. He's got like 500 followers on Instagram. I don't understand.
He's probably one. I'm like, he should be killing it.
He is killing it.
Numbers. You know what? He is killing it. My bad.
But that because he took too much time off, so he's just on his up grind.
Okay. So if he was a stock right now, I would definitely put money into that.
Yes. Okay. Stocks. If you want to invest in Al stocks, follow him on Instagram. Send him $50.
Yeah, no, he's dope. Always has been.
SF1. Yeah, we had LOC. Got
LO.
SF1 on one of the tracks. Fucking
D-Boss. And then, of course, the cypher that never happened. Or did happen.
It did happen. I was there. I saw it happen.
There's a photo around there. I found the photo.
Bro, I got the photo.
Oh, you got the photo.
It's on the archives. Empress MC, McCohen, Soul Benefits,
True Vibe Nation. I think
True
Vuli
Vibe
was
Nation.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking hectic one. Something happened
B
to the
Deals
sound.
was there.
Oh,
INQ. Yeah.
100%. That was fucking crazy.
Before
Zerich
Inc.
was like, nah, man, Limono LSC about to blow up. Can't have him stealing that Soul Benefit shine. And next minute, 1-4's DJ. Yeah, that was crazy though at the time as well, bro. Zerich is killing the beats. Zerich kills the beats.
Yeah.
Do you want to know something I heard? I heard this from Prolific, that Zerich and Prolific used to win all the beat battles so much that they got banned from doing the beat battles. Did you hear about that? No. Imagine being so good at something that they just fucking tell you can't come.
Is that true?
Nah, it's like Akai ones, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. How funny is
Prolific
it?
told you that?
Yeah. He was like, if it wasn't Zerish, it was me. And we'd always get to the finals and no one will ever fucking touch us. So they just turn around and be like, nah, man, we can't just keep giving you guys free shit. Like, you guys got to be judges. Is that fucked up, though? They keep pumping these guys with free shit until someone turns around and goes and just makes some fucking hectic things. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so have you got any questions for me? Oh, I fucking punched him with that one. Hey, what about questions? Do people have questions? Surely people have questions. You can think of some questions. Sure, you got some questions. Are there questions, Jeff? Did you even look
No
at the live?
questions? People just chilling? Oh, yeah, well, you know.
Talk about your shirt. Op
Got
shop
this-
fine?
Got this from, I think the place is called Albury, on the border of New South Wales and
Oh,
Victoria. Albury.
Yeah.
There was like a Nepalese sort of shop there.
One of them Nepalese joints.
One of those Nepalese joints. Lee, how do you feel about Godzilla? What's the feedback you've been getting?
Look, we got to 17 episodes for a no-show. So I think that's positive, right? You know what? I don't mind podcasts. Like, I mean... Okay. I've had old cunts in the scene. Sorry to use the C word, but some of them are cunts. That tell me that I shouldn't be doing particular things, like rapping. They think that I'm over the hill and that I should stop that now. I should be doing things for the you people coming up.
What?
That had me thinking. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, big shout out to Double L, my artist, again. Illuminating, coming out on October the 16th. He actually sort of painted it in a way that actually I agree with. He said that I'm the Joe Budden of Australian rap. Okay?
Yeah, you are. You are.
And he said it this is how he articulated it. He said, because I have an opinion and I say it, and some people don't like it, and they'd like to say, fuck you, what have you done? But they can't say that. And they can't say that I can't rap. They can't say that I can't hold my own. Like, I can do all those things. So they sort of hate it, but through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel that way, you know. But ultimately for the podcast, you know, the thing was that I wanted to do it with positive intent. You know, like, yes, I'm an opinionated guy, but I have a lot of respect for a lot of people in the scene. And I think they've got a lot more to offer. You know, it's funny because in a weird way, it's almost a platform. And, you know, it was fucking dope, man. I don't know if people really understand. Maybe I'll just tell the story, how this came about.
Yeah.
Right? So I had heard, you know, obviously I've known you for a couple of years. Well, you know, bro, have we known each other for like fucking 8 years or something? 7 years maybe.
Since the start of the cipher, just when I've known of you before the cipher, but around that time.
But around that time, yeah. So I've known you for quite some time. The funny thing was Ricky. I don't know how I didn't meet you earlier, bro. If I think about just who we know, and you know, we always know someone that knows someone that we know each other. But fucking stalker. It's like looking through my windows, like
Everyone knows of Lee. Still to this day, people go, "Oh, you hang out with Lee?
what the fuck?
Yeah, you hang out with the guy. You hang out with the guy from The Edge. What? You made it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the? How come I never feel like that?
Bro.
No one ever makes me feel like that. I feel like fucking people avoid me like the plague.
People think I'm a celebrity now because
Oh man, what the fuck? Can you make me feel like a celebrity? Those people. Fuck, buy a t-shirt. Straight up, buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt. Look,
there you go.
$30.
That is a sick shirt.
$30. Look, this is from Speakless.
Oh no.
I designed it. It's got my emoji on it. You know. Fuck, that wasn't even planned. That was mad, eh?
No, man.
Anyway, back to the story.
Met Ricky.
So yeah, but how I met Ricky. So obviously, you know, it's so funny because people kept saying to me as well, Ricky, like you should talk to. Have you met Ricky from Open Source? Have you spoken to Ricky? Because I'd maybe ask something random like, I want to get some PR or be on this gig. I'd see one of your gigs and I'd be like, how do I get on that? And be like, have you spoken to Ricky? And I'm like, who the fuck's Ricky? Like, I don't know fucking Ricky, man. And then they'd be like, oh no, follow this. And then finally I got around to it and I think we maybe chopped it up a little bit. And then I did then Johnny Evans, big shout out to Johnny Evans, sickest dude as well. He hit me up and was like, yo, we're doing this fundraiser. You know, would you perform? I was like, hell motherfucking yeah, it's the boys. And then that's when I finally met you and you picked me up from Penrith and I got in the car and bro, I swear to God, did he tell you this?
No.
Bro, we went like, I mean, I've heard now that Ricky's a bit notorious for this. Bro, we went zero to deep in like fucking, I reckon 2 minutes in the car, right? I'm having fucking life-changing conversations with this man in the car. And I'm like, yo, this is the sickest kind of life, right? And
No, because Ricky would go, "Oh, how was your day?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, fine." And he goes, "No, how was your day?"
how is your day?
How was your day? And then you'd be, "Whoa,
Whoa, wait. Fuck, are there microphones? Like, you're getting... No, but it was so crazy, man. We're just... Very quickly, we started talking about perspective of things.
Yeah,
and,
oh, bro. That sounds like a Ricky conversation.
yeah, reason why we're doing things and, you know, reason... You know, just deeper thought on maybe some relatively superficial topics. I don't know.
Sure.
But I just thought straight away, I was like, fuck, man, this guy, you know, we get it. And then what was so crazy to me was then, you know, he's obviously an action guy, Ricky, you know, loves to get things going if he's inspired, obviously, enough by it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not inspired by it, he'll also let you know. But that being said, the crazy and the dope thing was, you know, obviously, so I went down there and bro, it was hectic as well because, you know, I feel as though we all share some really similar values, you know, and you know, you guys are fucking really good guys, man, beautiful guys. I'll fucking always have your backs. But the funny thing was, you know, I've come down to this fundraiser for bushfires, and bro, what was so crazy was, you know, and I felt. I'll tell you, I want to be honest about this as well. Like when we got there, and Ricky was like, "Yo, bro, like it's not the craziest turnout. You don't have to perform." And like, you know me, but Ricky didn't necessarily know me.
Yeah.
At that way yet. I was like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck what the turnout is, bro. Like, is there a microphone? Yeah? Is there more than just us there? Even if not, bro, we're kicking a fucking, you know, the raps. And you know, we kicked that you know, we did that set to, you know, the handful of people there, and it wasn't even that bad. It was like, you know, trust me, I've done rap shows to less people than that. You know what I mean? But I think it was a good measure then, because Ricky then sort of started to know the type of person I was, and we very quickly got to chatting. And after that night, I then turned around and we went back to Doonside, right? And then I was like, yo, like I want to do this, and this is my idea, and why don't we have dinner now? And we had pizza at my place that night.
We did.
With my family, and you played Uno with my kids. Bro, we did it on the same...
Because Lee was going to take the train, but he missed the train. And we were like, bro, we'll just drop you off. Yeah.
Yeah. Same night, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So you think about that, we got a lot done in that one day in terms of like just talking ideas through and stuff like that. Bro, the same day. And we like literally on that same day, and then we were planning the podcast.
Yeah. On the same day you guys met, you planned the podcast, Godzilla
100%,
podcast.
You know? And, you know, obviously, you know, I have an understanding of who I am in terms of a character and a contributor, but also I love this shit so fucking much, man. Like, it's really, you know, there's something I had to actually come to terms with. I know that sounds very funny, but like hip-hop really is my life.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking live and breathe it. You know what I mean? Like, everything about the culture, the fashion, the you know, the slang, the, you know, the community aspect of it, all the elements, the, you know, the nurturing of it, the caring of it, you know, like people think this fucking big gangster fucking this, that, you know, guns, fucking drilling and fuck this. But for me, it's got nothing to do with that. It's like, it's a pocket of people that actually share these really peaceful, you know, true core values. And I don't like to make it sound corny, because it's not corny.
Yeah.
You know, it's really real. And so once I expressed that I wanted to do a podcast about it and really start to bring in these people that I really fucking felt passionately needed a platform to speak openly about their own shit. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like, fuck, you know, I'm an honest guy as well. I know there's some fucking shit rappers out there too. Do you know what I mean? And some... Hey... To the 5 people that are on there, ask an opinion. You ask me a fucking... I'll give you an honest opinion. Ask me about a rapper, what I think. I'll tell you what I think, all right? But with all due respect, sometimes, and I think particularly in this current climate, right? Yeah, people are scared now. Oh, shit. Esky's like, I don't want to be on the fucking screen when he says that. Just get the switch on Lee right now. But... the thing is that I feel as though, because truth be told, and like even me and Ella did this track, and he actually sampled a fucking dumb video that I did on my Instagram. It was like, you know, I'll say, people tell me like, I'm a rapper, bro. And I'll be like, cool, what have you done? And then they'll be like, I'm like, you're not a rapper, you know, shut the fuck up, the kid, you know what I mean? Like, there's the MC and the art and the craft of it and all that. It's not just guys putting shit up on their fucking Instagram feeds. It's not guys just putting up YouTubes. It's the people that are really putting in an effort to exemplify what they do and also grow the scene.
Yeah.
And bro, they always get taken the piss out of in this country. This fucking country, I've said it a million times, is so fucking racist, head in the sand pieces of shit from a bigger picture. You know, how many times you've been like, yo, I'm an MC, and they go like, oh, and I've said this, bro. Oh, yeah, fucking, oh, you're an MC, you know, wiki. Or they'll turn around and be like, oh, Esky, you're an MC. How do you work the turntable?
But I do know how.
I know you do. I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I get your point.
Study audio engineering. But it's just this real common misconception, a real common lack of understanding of the culture, and that it's deeper than the commodity, right?
Yeah.
And it actually holds foundational values that are actually like the essence of fucking humanity. Right?
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
And so how can you neglect an art form and a culture that at its truest core is actually of the benefit of everyone? How can you be so ignorant to that? I mean, it doesn't surprise me in Australia, because there's so many fucking things that Australians and Australia is ignorant of.
Yeah.
Ignorant of culture. ignorant of socioeconomic issues,
Yeah.
ignorant of global issues. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're in this fucking safe little bubble, and as a result, I was thinking like, yo, we need to fucking inject some intelligence into this
That's
motherfucker.
right. And that's why you think the perspective of hip hop is like what it is. That it is just some.
It's never given a stage. It's never given a voice.
Yeah.
It's never given a platform. It's never given an opportunity to breathe. You know, it's often pigeonholed, and that's what I think is so fucking concerning sometimes. You know. So, what do I think of podcasting? You ask. Esky? I think it's important. Similarly, so though, a lot of people are trying to do podcasting. I think they probably try to understand what is the core message that they're trying to get across to the listener. Because even us freestyling and spitballing, you and me just sitting down and talking, me talking about you asking me, there's value in it. There's perspective in it. There's community in it. You know what I mean? There's cultivation of the culture.
Your values come out so strong on the podcast. Even, I was talking to El Fresh, and he was talking about how his discussions with Mira, who were both guests on your show, they said it's like the Drink Champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Uh-huh.
said it's like that, but remove the alcohol,
Yeah, there's no alcohol in this.
and and it's just like pure honesty, raw. Get insight into the artist, and when he told me that, I went, Lee actually was inspired by that particular podcast.
Yes.
So it would be a compliment saying that.
Bro,
That's what that
100%.
is.
You know, one thing I have to say about the whole Noriega thing, the thing that really stood out as well to me was also the honesty in who Nori is.
Yeah.
Because and I think that's really important. If I can't be myself, if I have too much of if it's too stringent, my expression, it loses.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't get out of who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It's funny as well, like, someone, and I love the Mirror episode, like,
Same.
and I'll just look back on that, bro, like, and the reason why I love the Mirror episode is because, Mirror, and bless up Mirror, love it a bit. She doesn't always have the platform to be Mirror. Even on her own platforms, there's like an expectation that you have to sustain. And I've learned this as well through my own social media platforms. It's like there's an expectation of Lee Monroe artist, like as an artist. The people, same what sort of Double L said, I suppose. Like, I know what they want to see. I know what they want to hear. I know what aspect of me they want to latch to.
Yeah.
So I need to supply that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, where do I have an opportunity to just go for, like, just hell for leather?
Well, for you, it's here, right?
100%.
And for Mira, it was here too. Like, you got to see her away from that performative aspect.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you listened to the Andre 3000 podcast with Rick Rubin?
No.
You need to, because it's about how he progressed as an artist in his early days, had a break, and how he finds it so hard coming back. And because as humans, we change,
We
But-
evolve. 100%.
but people not necessarily want to see that change in your artistry. So Andre talks about how difficult it is, and he hasn't put out anything yet, but he talks about how difficult it is just to put out something.
I could really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Straight up. But yeah, man. No, the podcast is good. It's interesting as well. You know what always spins me out? Who's listening?
Yes.
I have random people hit me up and tell me about episodes, be like, yo, I saw this episode, or I saw that episode, or I didn't see this episode, or whatever. Like, they're just very mindful of it.
Yeah.
And I feel as though, what's interesting is it goes two ways in terms of, like, for me, what I find value in, because look, truth be told, I got a lot of shit on. You know that. I'm a very busy guy. And just to paint a picture to the people that are listening, how my life is, I've got a full-time job, which I'm an area manager for Adidas. So I help run 3 stores, right? And that's in Sydney and in Canberra. I've got 4 kids, 3 of which I get half the time. I've got my own musical commitments, which is now I've got a commitment. I've got to do an EP by early next year. A couple of singles have to come out, so I've got to shoot my own shit there. I organise, obviously, the podcast, and then I'm committed to an artist as a manager. So I manage Double L
Holy
as well, okay? None of which I would ever fucking change.
Yeah.
Bro, I love coming here, kicking it with you guys. Like, I fucking really deeply value it. Bro, Double L as well is such a good fucking guy that deserves so much more than, you know, I suppose what he's got at the moment, you know. Absolutely, obviously, I'm not going to change, you know, my kids. I love them absolute bits. You know, my partner, my fiance, Mackenzie, beautiful soul. Like, she really brings out the best in me and pushes me towards what I'm supposed to be, you know. So I wouldn't change, you know, any of that. But, you know, to get to the point is sort of like that, like, this has to be important to me for me to continue to do it. But what's also important is who is listening. And what sometimes keeps me going in this is because, like, fuck, man, we might be here with only 6 fucking viewers, right? We might only get, you know, a couple of 100 views of this on whatever, you know what I mean? But what's important is I'm finding the right people are listening.
Yeah.
And it is opening up opportunity, and it is shedding light on the right people, and the right people are hearing the right people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And it's connecting dots. I think that's important as well. And then that goes back to the community. This is to expand the community. This is to solidify the community, you know, because I feel as though, you know, particularly with especially the musical climate, right? This day and age, I find myself guilty of the same thing, right? I see myself looking at, like, why does this fucking guy get an opportunity and I don't? Right? Why does this? How come this guy, like, who's this guy fucking tugging off to get, you know, this opportunity? This music's whack, and why is that on this playlist?
Yeah.
Or da-da-da. And that's very divisive. Like, that's actually fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas I feel as though these people need to be in the rooms together, or at least understanding other people's perspective, so that they can be. And then back to what you were saying, back in this, so learning empathy.
Yeah.
Learning to be non-judgmental, you know, learning to be embracive of every aspect of the scene, you know, and that's fucking that's super important, man.
Important, and it's hard to do. It's
not a one-man
job,
right?
Yeah, well, it's like, it's easy to be divisive. Well, it's easy to be collaborative too. I guess it's about the one you feed. Which one do you choose?
Man, ego's a dangerous thing. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Is when you're driven by ego and you're motivated by acquisition of, you know, for yourself. I think that's when it becomes dangerous.
Yeah.
And the very tough thing about that is that when you're in it to acquire for yourself, it's not sustainable, because nothing is done by one person.
No.
Everything is done with a collective. There's always a team.
Yeah.
Anybody's successful, and if anybody ever turns around and claims success, and Hal's actually spoken very
I saw that.
about
That was
this
great.
recently, right?
Yeah.
But Hal speaks very strongly about, you know, collective growth rather than one single person growing, you know, and that's fucking fact. I wouldn't be anywhere I am in any particular time if it wasn't for particular people, including yourself, including Ricky, including Jeff. Bro, you know how long I've known Jeff for, bro? Since fucking 2004.
16 years.
16 years, bro. That
I
guy's been
remember
a
what
right
I was.
hand, bro.
Yeah, I remember what I was doing when I was 16. That's a long time. It's a very long
That's
time.
crazy shit. Anyway, god damn. Any other questions for me? Top of your head? No, because we can actually wrap this up now.
I think you went on an excellent rant about your podcast, and that should be the promo for it.
How do we cut that down to highlights? God damn. It's fucking one highlight.
You know what? Before we wrap up, there are so many things that we're planning for this podcast, and I'm not one to be like, watch this space. It's new music coming out soon, and never happens. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening, and definitely stay tuned for the Godzilla podcast because it's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah. I feel that it will. You know, man, I'm excited. We just got to find the time. Maybe we should have utilized this time to fucking plan some shit. But do we have any questions? Not really. Now's the fucking time.
I'm glad I can maintain. If you were
100%.
thank you.
Bro, hey, listen. If I'm going to be talking to Esky, guaranteed it is not a conversation short of intelligence.
Thank you. My HR was a mystery mark, so I wasn't smart in high school, but thank you.
Hey, I got
Intelligence.
mystery mark too.
Well, motherfucker.
My man. you
There
know,
you go.
bro, it's man, you know, straight up, bro, blessed to have you on the
Thank you.
team. And you know, it's funny, bro, I might be like the oldest guy around. But age-wise, certainly not maturity-wise. But man, in all honesty, man, I admire you, bro.
Thank you.
I really honestly look up to you, and you know, I've said this before. I say this to Mackenzie. One thing that I really appreciate having you here for is because, at my core and in my gut, more specifically for morality and for the best interest of others, and to be, you know, the selfless person that you are, you know, I really love having you around as a moral compass, you know.
Hey.
And yeah, and bro, I'm not just here to blow smoke. I really, you know, you work with the utmost integrity, and you also always hold yourself, you know, to a high regard, bro. And it's inspiring to everyone that's around you, bro, for real, you know. So certainly, although we were just fucking here spitballing, bro, it's been a fucking pleasure.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you. I can say the same for you. And you already know this. I say this off the mic. One of my top 5 favorite MCs in Australia. 100%.
Yeah, bro.
And
crazy.
and your drive is something to be admired. And plus, you're a celebrity, so hanging out with you boosts me up.
Case around the dirty dozen. Anyway, listen. That's pretty much it. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. If anyone speaks to Mitch Hoss, tell them to fucking call me, hit me up, this, that, whatever. Actually, hang on a minute. I didn't even check my things. Vivian. Maybe I should have done that. Hey. Wait, Vivian.
Maybe he's been at the gate the whole time.
Oh, Vivian said shirt. Bro, Vivian's got a shirt. Love you, Viv.
I wasn't planning to be on camera.
Yeah, she wasn't. Hey, big shout to Campbell Ben or Ben Campbell. I don't know, man, if you've got things backwards, bro. Hey, big shout out. He said loving the podcast, really hitting home. Brother with autism and is 29, non-verbal. Life wasn't easy for any of us, especially him. Now I'm a disability support worker myself, man. Big ups, bro. Doing 100%, bro. Yeah, you fucking just hit me up. That's crazy. So, man, we're inspired by people like yourself as well, bro. So, you know, keep up the good work there. Cool. Listen, it's dope as fuck to be sober. Big thank you to fucking Open Source, Ricky, Esky. Love you. Jeff, love you too. You know, even with that head, you dirty baton jokes. We will be giving you a heads up on who's on the next one. And let's get some fucking young guns in here, eh? I love the
Let's do
Inferno
it.
one.
Hey?
Inferno the other week.
Yeah, Inferno was good.
Inferno was real good, bro. I saw Inferno last night.
Where?
Yeah, Kiln Studios. Had a little bit of chinwag with the homie. Anyway,
Nice.
dope as fuck to be sober. We love you, Godzilla podcast. Make sure you check it out. YouTube, this, that, all that. And we out.